Bridgerton Season 4. Part 1 is that warm, fizzy feeling, familiar, romantic, yet with a slightly different rhythm than the past seasons. It's Benedict's time in the spotlight, and while the big, scandalous ball is still there, the tone feels a bit more intimate, a bit more grounded in the lives of the servants and the real cost of this glittering world. The show finally leans into class as a real barrier, not just a minor inconvenience, and that's the engine of this whole arc. It's still Bridgerton. There are ridiculous wigs, so much champagne, and of course the sex. But the central romance, Benedict and Sophie, is more restrained, which is actually refreshing after the steam fest of Colin and Penelope. The real heat is coming off Lady Violet's storyline, which is pure mature romance gold. Benedict's arc is the classic man who doesn't want to be tied down until he meets the one. The masquerade is peak fairy tale, mysterious lady in silver midnight, and that devastating Cinderella moment when she just runs away. Benedict's obsession with finding her is fun, and Luke Thompson brings that Bridgerton charm, playful, perceptive, but still very much a privileged man. Sophie, Yerin Ha, is instantly compelling as the educated maid who's been treated like dirt her whole life. She's not just a passive Cinderella. She's smart, witty, and she sees the world for what it really is. Watching her navigate her stepmother and sisters, Rosamond and Posy, while excelling as their dutiful maid, is heartbreaking. The real test of their relationship comes at the end of Part 1. Benedict, smitten but still blind to how the Tun will treat her, asks Sophie to be his mistress instead of his wife. For Sophie, that's a hard no. Not just because of pride, but because she's the child of a mistress, and she refuses to put her own child through that same pain and shame. That moment is such a pivot. It's not just, will he choose her? But can he grow up, truly see her, and fight for her as a wife, not just a secret? That's where the real drama for Part 2 is headed. Sophie's backstory cuts deep. She's the illegitimate daughter of Lord Penwood, raised as his ward. But when he died, his wife Araminta, Lady Penwood, threw her out of that position and made her a maid instead, claiming he left her nothing. That's the classic evil stepmother setup, and as the season goes on, it becomes clear that Araminta is the main villain of this piece. Araminta is all icy control, using her two daughters, Rosamond the sharp-tongued and Posy the sweet but clueless, almost like extensions of her own power. Posy is genuinely kind to Sophie, which makes it all the more tragic, while Rosamond is that perfect mix of entitled and bored, dripping with condescension. The fact that Sophie is the real daughter of the late Lord Penwood is the ticking bomb under the whole story. Society barely sees her, but viewers know she's far more noble than the Penwood girls ever could be. Benedict spends this half-season as Mayfair's hottest bachelor, and the Tun is absolutely wild for him. The mothers are desperate, the daughters are throwing themselves at him, and it's all delicious over-the-top drama. The show still loves its love triangle energy, and here it's Benedict chased by society's elite while he's only searching for that mysterious lady. What's interesting is how Benedict almost seems to enjoy being a bit of a rogue. He's not pushing to marry, he's flirting and dancing, but underneath he's genuinely searching for something real. Sophie, without realizing yet that choosing her means going against the entire world he's always lived in. Sophie's costuming is genius storytelling. At the masquerade, she's the lady in silver. It makes her look like a real debutante, someone who belongs in the Tun. Once she's working at Bridgerton House, she's in the plain maid's uniform. But here's the clever bit. During her week at my cottage, she starts wearing the old gowns of the Bridgerton sisters. When she's in that Bridgerton blue, softer, more elegant than the Penwood's flashy, almost vulgar colors, it's not just practical, it's a visual hint. The show is waving a big flag. Sophie is being dressed like a Bridgerton because she's going to become a Bridgerton. It's a very Bridgerton way to tell us, yes, she's the one, even if the Tun won't believe it yet. Benedict's relationship with Violet is one of the highlights of the season. She's the classic Bridgerton matriarch, trying to wrangle her stubborn son into the marriage market, but still full of love and warmth. There's a lovely strength in how Violet pushes Benedict. She's relentless, but you can see she actually cares about his happiness, not just his position in society. And as Benedict slowly starts to fall for Sophie, there's a subtle shift in Violet, an understanding that her son might actually want something real, not just a society match. Penelope's life is completely transformed this season. She's now Lady Penelope Bridgerton, married to Colin, and everyone in the ton knows she's Lady Whistledown. That's a huge power shift. She's still gossiped about, but now she's also the one who is the gossip. Queen Charlotte is obsessed with Penelope's intel, constantly calling her in for chats about who's doing what, and that's going to be a major arc going forward. Their relationship now is tense, almost mentor-protégé, but also a power struggle between a queen and a woman who knows all her secrets. Francesca is settled as Mrs. Sterling, and her relationship with John feels sweet but strained. She's still struggling with intimacy and the pressure to have a child, which is a very real, very human problem that the show doesn't brush aside. Eloise, meanwhile, is still very much the defiant spinster, but Season 4 really plants the seed that this might not be her forever. She's now assigned to chaperone her young sister Hyacinth, and in that role, she's forced to relive the very debutante world she hates, over and over again. She's stuck in the never-ending loop of chaperoning younger relatives, watching ball after ball, and being expected to play the part of the wise, unmarried aunt. It's a quiet but powerful reminder that this is what life as a permanent spinster looks like in this society. Endlessly overseeing other people's love stories, never having her own. There's also that small, loaded moment where she walks in on a conversation between Penelope and Francesca, and they immediately change the subject because they were talking about married things. Eloise is visibly left out, awkwardly on the outside, and it hits hard. Her unmarried status isn't just a personal choice, it's starting to isolate her from her best friend and her own sister. All of this, being the eternal chaperone, feeling excluded from the intimate conversations of married women, and seeing her family circle shift around her, might finally be the push that makes her question whether she truly wants to spend her life alone, and whether she's ready to pursue her own love and marriage. Absolutely, the season is setting Eloise up for her own romance in the next book, Ash season. She's been the independent sister, the one who rants about marriage being a prison, but here we see cracks in that armor. Being around Sophie's impossible love story and seeing her other sisters' relationships, including the messy ones, is making her question her own no marriage ever stance. Lady Danbury's bond with Queen Charlotte remains one of the show's emotional anchors. This season reminds us that their friendship is complicated. Charlotte is the queen, but Danbury is the only one who speaks truth to her. There's a quiet tension now. Charlotte is anxious about life after George, and Danbury is there to support her, but also knowing that the Queen's decisions will reshape the Tun's future. Danbury is no longer a mere lady-in-waiting, but a powerful confidant and matchmaker, pulling the strings behind the throne. The most romantic storyline of Season 4 Part 1 is Lady Violet's. Ruth Gemmell is absolutely luminous, and her blossoming attraction to Lord Marcus Anderson is mature, sensual, and utterly charming. Violet is such a complete character. She's a mother who's been widowed, used to being the pillar of the family, but she's not dead or done. Her relationship with Marcus is shy at first, then flirtatious, and finally deeply tender. It's a beautiful counterpoint to the younger romances. This is a woman who's been through loss, who knows what she wants, and who deserves her own happiness, not just as a mum, but as a woman. Lady Violet's wardrobe this season is a masterclass in mature elegance with a hint of sensuality. She's not in the pastel baby blues of the debutantes. Her colors are soft but richer. Lavenders, creams, pale pinks, and that signature Bridgerton blue. The cuts are a bit more daring, lower necklines, fitted Spencer jackets, and drapes that hug her silhouette in a way that says, "I'm still very much a woman." It's a subtle makeover that matches her emotional arc. She's not just a mother, but also a woman who's allowing herself to be seen and desired again. The Maid War is one of Season 4's most socially aware plotlines. Sophie is such a talented maid that when Lady Penwood fires her, she needs 4 new maids to replace her. That detail alone tells us how much these women are underpaid, overworked, and disposable. The real gut punch is Mrs. Varley, the loyal Featherington housekeeper. After years of service, she bravely asks Lady Penwood for a modest raise, only to be humiliated with a box of old dresses and a refusal. The cruelty of that moment, asking for a fair wage and being treated like a piece of furniture, is absolutely awful. Mrs. Varley leaving is a huge moment, and it sets up the maid war that's now raging across Mayfair. These women are being treated as replaceable, and the show uses this to highlight just how brutal and unequal this world really is, even when the camera is focused on the glittering ballroom. So, Season 4. Part 1 is a different kind of Bridgerton, still decadent and romantic, but with more weight, more upstairs-downstairs tension, and a central couple whose love story is going to be fought for, not just handed to them. Benedict and Sophie have the potential to be something special, but only if he can truly grow up and reject the system that created him. And the rest of the cast, Violet's new romance, Penelope's precarious position, Eloise's quiet doubts, and that awful maid war, are all feeding into a richer, more layered season than we've had before. Now, a month until Part 2 drops, and the cliffhanger is a beaut. Sophie has walked away, Benedict is heartbroken, and the Ton is about to get its claws into this story. What do you think? Does Benedict deserve a second chance, or has he blown it? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bridgerton tea and drama.